We're in Lyon at the heart of Syensqo's new microbiology lab, their flagship setup, and we're here to find out what responsible beauty actually means, from how ingredients break down in nature to testing their safety before they've even hit the lab bench. This place really is pushing science forward in a way that might just change the future of beauty. But let's get real, some of this stuff is quite complex, so we're going to go behind the scenes now to see really where the science is made. So Eric, there's a lot of buzzwords in beauty, cosmetics, personal care over the years. Talk to me about responsible beauty. What's it all about? What does it mean?
Yeah, responsible beauty, I think you need to think about sustainability. It all starts there.
Yeah.
Sustainability is about the ability to foster partnerships and collaborations with all your different stakeholders.
Right.
This is really the fundamental idea. At the end of the year, can you say to yourself, I feel better than last year. That's the mindset that you do have to have in mind, to look continuously for progress in everything you do. And for us, this is about the origin of our products, where are they coming from, is their traceability, do we know about the agricultural practices, it's about the manufacturing processes, is it energy efficient, is it safe, and it's also about the end life of the products we put on the market. Are they biodegradable? Are they supporting the circularity approach?
And talking about progress, I mean, consumers, right? They are more educated in terms of what they're looking for in terms of ingredients in their products than ever before. What sort of trends are you seeing with consumer trends? What are they asking for now that they just weren't simply asking for, say, 5 years ago?
There's been a diversity of consumers, Gen Zs, millennials, and we look at them in different groups to try to navigate within this complex environment. And we see, consumer actors who are very conscious about the planet. We see, tech addicts who are looking for the latest biotech technologies. And all of them really, there's a common theme, is that they are all inspired by nature. And they're looking for strong data, fact-based, science-based information.
For you at Syensqo, you're not just about marketing hype, it's not just about buzzwords, but actually you're leading with facts and data, so you can back up the claims that you make, and a lab like this clearly helps facilitate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for our customers, the brand owners, sustaining a strong equity in this complex environment is challenging. So if they can rely on a strong, ingredients provider like Syensqo, this is probably, safe for them to work with us and innovate with us. And this is what this lab here is going to be able to support, to provide the right level of information and data on our commercial products and our commercial ingredients, and as well be able to innovate in the field of life science, the most critical field of life science, such as microbiology, such as biodegradability, toxicity, and all biotechnologies.
That's really, really insightful. Thanks so much. And like I said, I'm very much looking forward to meeting your colleagues later today to take a real deep dive into all those areas we discussed. Vincent, good to see you again, outside of being cosmetics for once and in your natural habitat. So talk to me a bit about biodegradability. Why is it such a hot word in beauty right now?
So biodegradability is really at the core of what consumer expects today. So it's really coming from a consumer expectation who wants nowadays actually ingredients that are developed in a sustainable manner, but also performant. So it's all about a compromise between these two antagonist effects.
Yeah, fantastic. And I believe you're now going to introduce me to a man who really knows his stuff in biodegradability.
Absolutely. So at Syensqo, biodegradability is really at the core of the ingredients that we develop. And actually, Michael Crégu is our expert at Syensqo on this matter.
Fantastic. Michael, very nice to meet you. Now, I understand you're going to educate me in biodegradability. So tell me a bit more about it. What does it actually mean? How do you test it? Are there any parameters as such?
Hi, Trystanh. Nice to meet you. In biodegradation, we assess the capability of substance to be broken down by microorganisms. Globally, in a biodegradation test, we've fixed several parameters in order to assess the capacity of an ingredient to degrade the substance, and according to the stringency of the test, we can classify the biodegradability. Clearly, we have to manage the quantity of microorganisms present in the assay, and according to the speed of biodegradation and the condition of incubation, we can determine if the substance is fully degraded or not, and according to the time frame in which the reaction occurs, we can determine if the substance is really biodegradable or not, or ultimately biodegradable.
So, Mikhail, all of this is very impressive, what we've seen so far. There has to be a plan, there has to be a strategy. Maybe you can tell me a bit more about how Syensqo really plans to raise the game when it comes down to biodegradability.
Yeah, the strategy at Syensqo is to take the biodegradability since the beginning of the conception of the new chemical. For this, we have to develop some massive capacities and large screening test methodologies to assess potential of a product. And we have to balance about the potential of biodegradability of the new substance, of the new candidate, with the performance of the product.
Yeah. And I guess we're right now going to find out a little bit more about looking at that compromise and that balance as we go and talk to Vincent. There has to be a compromise, right? There has to be a balance somewhere. When you look at performance and when you look at biodegradability, how do you perform well in both sides? How do you do it?
Yeah, so specifically in the beauty industry and in hair care, what we're doing when we're developing an ingredient is the more you derivatize it, the more it's performant, but the less it's biodegradable.
Sure.
So it's all about a compromise between these two antagonist effects. And basically, to understand and to explain it to our customers, we have developed a beauty biodeg score that you can see here. And actually, when a substance is easily biodegradable, we say it's readily biodegradable.
Right.
And this is our score A. So this is a top-notch biodegradability score that you can get, and result you can get on the market. And then we have derived actually the scores B, C, and D to understand actually how the score evolves.
Fantastic. And then therefore your customers then can select which levels they would prefer to choose.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually the standard in the industry in a few years, so forward-looking ingredients will be score A, so readily biodegradable. But today it's kind of compromise that is accepted in the market to be score B, for example.
B. Well, it's fantastic at Syensqo have a product on the market ready to go at A for your customers.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Vincent, so thank you so much. It's very
Thank you very much. So as explained for the Beauty Biodeg score, our first of its kind on the market score A readily biodegradable conditioning polymer is National Care Clear SGI. So National Care Clear SGI is able to condition your hair in a formulation like a shampoo, opaque or suitable for transparent formulas from low to medium conditioning. So actually to target the high conditioning for over-processed hair, for example, we have developed a new grade which is National Care Extra. And National Care Extra is derived from the ancient healing secrets of fenugreek. So here you see fenugreek. This is the first time Syensqo is diversifying from the guar source. And fenugreek, we were able to derivatize it to actually develop this National Care Extra, which is really dedicated to over-processed damaged hair. So really high conditioning while being biodegradable, score B, for instance.
So that certainly cleared a few things up for me, learned a bit more about biodegradability and really how Syensqo are pushing the boundaries when it comes down to biodegradability as well, particularly with their ranking systems. I think their customers are going to find that particularly useful. Now, come and follow me to the next area where we're going to talk a bit more about toxicology. So now, toxicology sounds intense, to my ears anyway, sounds like something out of a CSI episode. What is it exactly you're testing here?
In fact, it's simple. It was my idea before to start in my studies in biology, but in fact we just tested the potential effects, harmful effects of the product that are developed by Syensqo, and more generally by industries. And we tested this on both humans and animals.
Right.
In fact, in the lab, we don't have humans and animals, of course, so we use cells that come from this organism, and we can perform the test and help the chemist to select the best candidate for the end of the journey.
Interesting. Okay, well that's a little bit clearer. I'm going to bring Eric in here as well because maybe you can both help me out with this one. So natural ingredients, when they're natural, does that automatically mean they're safer or is that just a myth?
In fact, not always. We have to test all the ingredients. If I can take one or two examples, we can have, for example, oleander that is known to be toxic for the heart. We have also belladonna that is toxic for nervous system. So natural does not mean not toxic. We have to test all the ingredients for the formulation.
Understood.
And I think it's important as well to remind that safety and toxicity are two different things. You can test for toxicity. Safety is a matter of exposure and risk level. The concentration of the ingredient in the formulation to which the consumer is exposed really matters. And the cosmetic regulation is definitely centered around consumer safety.
So I guess in that case, then it's very important to test these toxicity levels before you put them into a product and before they ultimately go on shelves and people use them, right?
Yes, absolutely. As I said, because the regulation is centered on consumer protection and consumer safety, we know that ultimately our customers are going to have to validate that the product is safe for use. And the early on we can waive that risk in the product development with our customers, the better it is for our resources, our time, and the chance of being successful in a project.
Cool.
So it's very important to do that early on with predictive models as much as possible.
And reinforcing your company's reputation in the market as well, making sure that you're consistently accurate.
It goes together, yeah.
Absolutely right. And Anel, you mentioned earlier about those human cells. Is that how you test how something will behave on a human without actually testing it on a human?
Yeah, in fact, we use in silico model, that is computational model, and with this we can have data-driven decisions. If I can just have one example, we saw that with the QSAR model, that's in silico tools, we saw that there is potential renal toxicity and skin irritation, and that's result have been confirmed with the in vitro model that we have here. And in fact, by comparing the molecules from similar family, we can have this prediction tools.
Very interesting. Okay, that's very insightful. I think I know a little bit more now than what I did a few moments ago. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Now come and follow me, where we're going to find out a bit more about industrial microbiology. Stefan, industrial microbiology, to my ears, that sounds like the bugs you get in yogurt. I'm guessing it's not quite like that. It's probably something a little bit more hardcore. So maybe you can explain a little bit about it?
I could answer yes and no, because we have also to solve this kind of contamination in our products. But we try to work more to avoid this kind of contamination.
Right.
For that, for example, we have to choose the best preservative we can have to be able to have a long shelf life of a product. And for that, we work with our chemical colleague to define the best recipe we can have.
So talking about long shelf lives then in that case, how do you ensure the microbial stability of the products?
We have two levels to work on this purpose. First, we can work directly with the plant to try to avoid or to limit the presence of bacteria in the product. For that, we do some diagnostic on the line with sampling some surfaces, for example, to be able to determine if there is some spot of contamination of the line. And like that, if we have less bacteria in the product, we could use less preservative in the product.
Understood.
And how we can select good preservative? It's exactly what my colleague prepares there. We work on the laboratory and we do some challenge test. What is a challenge test? A challenge test is to inoculate a product with some select bacteria. For example, bacteria we isolate from the plant to be more realistic because the bacteria of the plant are the habit to growth on the product, and to follow the development, and we hope to follow the decrease of the population due to the presence of a preservative. And like that, we can have a long shelf life in a natural product.
Well, thank you so much for explaining that, and certainly at a level which I understand as well. So that's a lot clearer for me. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
So, Mikhail, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I was looking to find out from you, how really is this lab a game changer when it comes down to the microbial R&D side of things?
Okay, I believe what is special from this lab is the large set of capabilities in life science, going from biotechnology, microbiology, biodegradability, and toxicology that are in all the same building, which makes the lab so special and so unique for us. In addition to this, it is also our ability to design and develop special tests that fits to the market needs from hair and skin that we can adapt and provide solution to the market.
That's a lot clearer for me, so thank you very much. It sounds like you're definitely the right man for the job as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Guillaume, you're the man here who develops the ingredients. Explain that to me like I'm 10 years old. What does that actually mean?
Okay. Yeah, ingredients are part of the recipe for a face cream or a shampoo. Just like you put oil, flour, or sugar to bake a cake. And the trick is I'm developing this ingredient by fermentation. I'm using tiny living things that just like bacteria or yeast, and they can transform natural substrate, just like sugar, into something useful for the cosmetic industry.
Interesting. Okay, so in that case, tell me about the big advantages of, say, biotech over traditional chemistry then in that case.
Okay, yes. Because fermentation is part of what we call biotechnology.
Yeah.
And what is interesting first is that biotechnology is sustainable. We are using natural raw materials, renewable raw materials, or just like sugar, just like waste.
Yeah.
And we are using them to feed the microorganism. So first, it's sustainable. Second, the process, the fermentation is an ancestral process. It's something that we use for many, many millennia to produce wine, beer, bread.
Understood.
So it's an ancestral process that we can use for natural products. And then the fermentation is something safe. You use soft ingredients, soft temperature, soft pressure. There is nothing dangerous for people working in this type of facility. So it's really important to have safe process for the people working in it. And finally, it's fast. We can develop here ingredients for the cosmetic industry that in a faster way compared to what we can do a few years ago, because we have digitalization, we have automatization, we have robotization, and it provides data, it provides results faster than ever.
Fantastic. So fast, efficient, and safe.
Yes.
Excellent. Understood. Well, it's becoming a bit clearer for me now. So what we're going to try to do is try to find Eric in the lab who can tell us a bit more about these ingredients. Gloom, that was very insightful. Thank you so much. Come and follow me, and we're going to try and find Eric now. We've just heard from Guillaume there the big advantages of biotech over traditional chemistry. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about the ingredients and what the big booms are at the moment.
Absolutely. The beauty of biotechnology and fermentation is that it can absolutely mimic everything that exists in nature. And it was very important for beauty care, whether it's for skincare products, is it can mimic natural products that exist within your skin. And a few examples are, in your skin you got some collagen, in your skin you got some hyaluronic acid, and in your skin you got some ceramide.
Right.
And right now we are working on the next generations of ceramides, and those ceramides are going to be formulated into a skincare products that's going to be topically applied on your skin and really strengthen your skin.
And now it's time to take off the lab coat, take off these glasses, and speak to someone about the future of beauty in Syensqo. It's been a real privilege to walk around Syensqo today. What a fantastic place. Your facilities, the capabilities, and also a real standout, you know, your colleagues as well. Fantastic people, brilliant minds. It leaves me with a question thinking, what is the next frontier for Syensqo?
Yeah. So the next frontier is really to leverage these capabilities and design the ingredients of the future. We want these ingredients to be safe, to be efficient, and to be sustainably sourced. This is our responsible beauty commitment, as you saw. And we believe that with these capabilities, these skills, these tools, these brains, this creativity, we feel that we are very well equipped to be successful.
I think you're more than well equipped from what I've seen today. And another question that really comes to mind as well as you were talking there, how do you ensure that these ingredients actually end up in products and not just concepts? Because there's lots of good science going on here, lots of good ideas. So how do you ensure that those ideas ultimately end up in a beauty product?
Yeah, you're right. Here is just the beginning of the journey. So at Syensqo, bringing innovation, bringing science to consumer is in our DNA.
Yeah.
So we engage with customers in all geographies. You know, we leverage a very comprehensive commercial network. We work with customers hand in hand, you know, large customers, small customers in all geographies, as I mentioned. And China, you can mention India, Brazil, Mexico, but also US, where West Coast has a lot of customers, or Europe with amazing players as well. So we engage with all these customers. We more and more work on project brief type of concept, which means that we work hand in hand with the customer, like co-designing the formulation. And we believe that this approach is the best way to be successful. It increases the success rate, you know, because we have the target from the beginning.
Yeah.
It increases the speed to market. Together, we are faster, we are more successful, and this ensures that the innovation ends up in the shampoo bottle or in the skincare jar.
Fantastic. And as you said, you're an international business. You have customers all over the world. You're at the forefront of new technologies and developments. It leaves me thinking, well, where do you see the company going in the next 10 years, considering it already in such a strong position?
Yeah, so we've discussed responsible beauty a lot. What we believe 10 years from now, that this will really become a standard, not an option, really a standard on how we need to do business in this industry. So we are going to continue work hard, you know, prepare the next generation of ingredients, always safer, always more efficient, and always more responsible in terms of sourcing.
Setting the standard in beauty.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Well, look, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me today. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for your visit, your time. It was great.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much. You know, it's interesting, isn't it? I came here earlier today not really knowing anything at all about toxicology, biodegradability, microbiology. But over the course of today, as you can see, we've spoken to some phenomenal experts, some real professionals in their field. And they very clearly walked me through all of these areas of a business. And I think for me, that was really the standout moment. Not so much the amazing new lab they clearly have here and also the phenomenal ingredients they're supplying, but actually it's the people here in a business. And it really did strike me to think that actually it doesn't matter how good your lab is. Of course, that's important. And it doesn't matter how good your ingredients are. Of course, that's important as well. But it's the team here, it's the people that really, really run the show. And I think you would probably join me in saying, or certainly thinking at least, that Syensqo really is starting to carve a future in beauty.